Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video.
So welcome back, a lovely warm Scottish welcome back to the channel, ladies and gents. I had a wonderful night in the camper van on my park up. I drove up last night and yeah, had a really good sleep, and I'm ready for a little bit of photography this morning in a location that I have wanted to photograph for a long time. So welcome to beautiful Rannoch Moor. This is a location that I've driven through. I've driven past so many times, and I've always thought, man, why am I not stopping the car to photograph here? But yeah, I'm giving myself that opportunity this morning that I've always wanted, you know. And as you can probably tell, look at me. We've got sun. It wasn't forecast, but in the background, it's looking really gloomy. So we've got a beautiful contrast. And what I'm wanting to focus on here, if it's not really obvious, are these beautiful deciduous trees here on these islands in the middle of all these lochs dotted around. And it's fantastic because we're in spring, so these trees are just such a beautiful vibrant green. And yeah, it's boggy, it's nice and boggy but yeah, I am just so excited to explore around and just buzzing about these conditions. Now this is a really accessible location. I'm parked up just off I think it's the A82. In fact, I'll put the coordinates of where I've parked my van down in the video description. So if you copy and paste those coordinates into Google Maps, literally just copy all the numbers, it'll pinpoint you exactly where I parked my van. And honestly, it's a little bit boggy, but yeah, a couple of minutes walk from where the van is, and look where I am. Unbelievable. So yeah, a really good spot in terms of accessibility, which I know a lot of you always ask about, so I'll try my best to share it, you know. This is just fantastic. So I'm going to try my best to act quite quickly here, because again, look, you can see the sun is on me, but it's in and out of the clouds. And honestly, earlier on this morning, it was proper grim. Like one of those where, that's why I'm so surprised about the sun. It was like no chance of there being any sunlight. So this is an absolute treat, but my point is, it might not last. Oh yes, you little beauty. So we are shooting with the OM5 again, and 12 to 60 millimeter Panasonic Leica lens. If I'm being honest, I really fancied coming on this little trip here in Scotland with my Nikon Z7. For those of you that don't know, without going into too much detail, my Nikon Z7 is my primary camera, whatever that means, the one that I've always used the most, and it broke recently and it's away getting repaired. But honestly, it's been away for a long old time. I'm not sure about the old service, I have to be honest, maybe 5 or 6 weeks. However, I don't know if that's normal. Let me know in the comments. I don't know if that's normal for a camera repair. It seems quite a long time for me, but it is what it is. I'm very fortunate I've got this fantastic camera system. But yeah, I was just in the mood shooting my Z7. Anyway, this shot, like I said, making the most of the light. I've just popped it into a square crop and like an aspect ratio, 1:1. And I'm just framing up one or two of these beautiful foreground trees here, lit with some of the sunlight. It's already nice and vibrant with all those spring leaves, absolutely beautiful. And then some gloomy background mountains and some really moody clouds as well. Fantastic. These conditions are absolutely fantastic, so unexpected, like I've touched on. I just grabbed this image as well. I mean, it's pretty much the same, but just in a completely different aspect ratio than the square crop. This is in a 16:9, and yeah, I just liked it on the back of the little camera. Just it looks almost like a bit of a panorama. It's got like a panorama feel to it, beautiful sky, and yeah, just really nice silver effect of the loch down in the foreground, and of course them trees. So what I'm going to do is just make my way further down this way. And again, like I said at the start of this video, this in particular, the area that I'm going to head down to is the spot that I always drive past. Look, you can hear them, maybe see some of the cars flying past there now. They're probably looking over thinking, oh, maybe I should stop, and then they're not doing it. But yeah, down here looks absolutely fantastic. Right, I quite like this little island here, look. Obviously it's going to be quite similar to the first couple of shots I got, but yeah, I just want to move to the left a little bit and see, just try and centre him in between these mountains just a little bit. And then I want to be high enough that you can see that it's an island. Look, if I get too low, you lose the water that's behind the island, if that makes sense. Whereas just we've got that tiny little gap there, for me, makes it a lot more appealing as a photograph. So yeah, already thinking 16:9 aspect ratio again, and I'll pop it up on the screen here so that you can see it in real time. There we go. So yeah, I don't want to be too cropped in like this. I want to make sure we get all that beautiful, oh look at them clouds, that is gorgeous. Yeah, something along those lines like that I think is going to look really nice. I suppose the only thing with that shot is, at the minute at least, we haven't got any of the sunlight on the trees. The trees are still beautiful, again, really nice and vibrant, but maybe I've got to come back this way, so maybe on my way back I'll see if the little island is lit up by the sun. Anyway, I want to have a quick chat about something. So one thing I am acutely aware of is how often you comment and let me know that I need to update my gear page over on my website. And I can only apologise for that. I need to sort it out. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll write a newsletter. My next newsletter will be about my gear, I suppose, and that'll give me a kick up the backside to sort out the gear page over on my website. If you're not signed up to my newsletter already, I'll leave a link in the description below. I'd love to have you along. It's a lovely little community. Just chat, really. I just waffle, talk a load of nonsense, talk about photography, a little bit of behind the scenes about me, I suppose, stuff that I've been up to. And yeah, a bit more behind the scenes of the photography as well. I can talk in a much different way on my newsletter, and I don't mention it enough, so again, that'll be in the video description below. Oh, so please do join me on today's adventure, ladies and gents, as we traverse the beautiful A82. Oh, we've got some vehicles coming past us here. This is the stuff that you all want to see in a landscape photography adventure, is it not? So whilst we were on the subject of my website, the gear page on my website or whatever, today's video is sponsored by Squarespace, and my own website is through them, so I'd love to tell you all about them. So if you've never heard of Squarespace, they are an all-in-one platform that you could use to build your own website. And like I said, exactly like I did. And the most important thing that I always want to get across is how easy it is through Squarespace. You needn't feel scared or intimidated by building a website through Squarespace, because it's so simple. They've got loads of wonderful professional looking templates that you can use. In fact, they've got a new feature that's out now. I think it's called Squarespace Blueprint, and it will guide you through the whole process of that website build. And it is so easy. And on top of that, this is really important for me to say, your website will look class as well, because these templates are incredible. Now, if like me, you'd like to sell things through your Squarespace website, you could do that as well. You can have your own online shop, and I use it to sell prints, ebooks, my calendars when it's the right season. I advertise my one-to-one workshops on there, anything you want really, and you can accept various different payment methods as well, which is really handy for me. You know, credit cards, debit cards, PayPal, a lot of people prefer to pay with, and even Apple Pay and stuff like that. So it's really fantastic. A lot of versatility for the customers. And like I always say, I wouldn't be able to run my business without my Squarespace website. So yeah, another massive thank you to them. If you'd like to give them a go, head over to squarespace.com/Henry Turner, and you'll get a 14-day free trial, and that'll be in the video description below. And if you like your free trial, make sure you use the offer code at checkout for 10% off your first purchase. So I've had my eye on these, I think there's probably 3 or 4 trees on one of these little islands here, or maybe this one's a peninsula, I'm not sure. But anyway, I think we're in the right spot here. We've got the correct perspective to get the image that's sort of pre-visualized in my head. Oh, you know what I love about this sort of photography is just the simplicity of it all, both with the compositions that you get in and, you know, physically the photography itself, but also just the experience. It's just, you know, as simple as it gets for me. I guess the location helps being so beautiful. Just kind of meandering up and down this loch side here, picking off photographs with the long lens. It's just fantastic. So this shot, I'm needing to get in a little bit further than 60mm, but the OM system, like most cameras to be fair, has got a feature that I've just applied to a custom button that will ×2 magnify, so I can get in at 120mm. It's effectively just cropping the image, but I don't mind. It still does the job. So I'm wanting to get in really tight to this little section of trees and just have them as the foreground element, the element that's closest to us, and then we've just got the gloomy mountains off in the background again. What I'm liking about this shot is that there's no water in the frame at the bottom, which is just something a little bit different, and again adds to that simplicity that I was talking about. I think I'm probably going to really like this one. So I just grabbed this image that it kind of goes against everything that I just said that I liked about the image before that. We've got the loch down in the foreground. It's not quite as simple, but I don't know, part of me just really wanted to try and incorporate some of them rocks down in the foreground. The only thing I'm wondering, as you're looking at it there, maybe let me know in the comments, I feel like the ripples in the water there in the foreground might be a little bit too distracting, so I might try one at about 1/4 of a second and put the digital ND filter on as well. So that one's at 1/8 of a second actually, and I was just playing around with the shutter speeds a little bit, and I figured I quite liked a little bit of the ripples, if that makes sense, just a tiny little bit of texture in the water. I'm probably overthinking things, but again, it's just so fun. It's so fun to play around even with the technical side of photography, and I mean, look at it, man, look at it. Doesn't really get any better than this. So as a lot of you that follow me regularly are no doubt aware, I am back in Scotland again. I was there for ages, then I was in Tenerife, and yeah, here I am again. And I won't talk about that in this week's video, else we'll be here all day. But you know, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and yeah, the little notification bell. Now I'll maybe talk about that in perhaps next week's video, I'm not sure, because it's something that I've wanted to talk about for a while, you know, myself being away in Scotland quite a lot, being abroad, not really shooting local too much. Probably looks a bit weird, but yeah, I wanted to chat about that. Right, I'm going to move further down because you can probably see a lot of trees in this direction here, and I do still think there's photographs to be had. I am loving these massive coaches and wagons flying past us here. I was just going to say as well, it's a bit of a shame that we're not getting any of that light, but as you can probably see there, look, it's really patchy, so who knows? Who knows? So I've just spotted, look at this beautiful tree just there. I don't know if it's maybe a silver birch as the cars are flying past us here. But yeah, just the photographer has spotted a potential subject, and next comes the stage of can we make it into a photograph? Let's see. Oh, I don't know if you can hear the cuckoo, but that's my first one of the year. Hang on, I'll be quiet, see if you can hear him. No, we can just hear cars. We could just hear cars, right? You'll have to just take my word for it. Anyway, I don't think... I've gone really off-piste here. I don't think I'd... Oh, it maybe looks all right for me here. It's one of them where I'm moving left and right all over the place, and I just don't feel I can quite make him work. Maybe you can make this out, but look, just in front of the tree, there's just a load of mess, maybe a couple of saplings and stuff. And what's important about that tree is, yes, the leaves, but the trunk, that curved white trunk is beautiful as well, or silver, I suppose. I don't even know if it is a silver birch tree. But, yeah, I'll move about a little bit more. I'm feeling like I might move on from that one. We'll see. So the tree's over there, it just wasn't working, but look at this for a find. Oh, a bit of foreground. No, I'm joking. Look at that. Look at that. That is quality. I mean, it's a bit of an easy, obvious photograph to take. This, what we're talking is that a hawthorn tree maybe? He's a little bit messy. I don't know. I need to stop naming trees unless I know what they are. But as you've seen it there, probably, I've got to grab that shot, have I not? Yeah, I decided to grab it without the hawthorn tree. It was a little bit too messy, I think, and I wanted to get further down because up here there was just way too much water, you know, because we're looking down on it. But yeah, sometimes there's some photographs out there when you're out and about that you've just got to get. That was one of them. Oh wow, what an incredible area Rannoch Moor is, and this is like beyond not even scratch the surface of it. This is me just parked next to the main road, being a lazy landscape photographer and just enjoying a tiny little section of it. You could spend months in this location. It is fantastic. Now, like I was saying before, ladies and gents, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button. Not only does it help me out, but yeah, it means you'll get notified when I release any future videos. And yeah, like I was saying before, I'll have a little bit of a chat about why it appears that I'm never at home or whatever in next week's video perhaps. I don't know, I'll bring it up because it's something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. And yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. If you've got a quick second, hit the thumbs up button, it proper helps me out. And do drop me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you all, and I appreciate your support so much. And here is another video of me up in the Highlands of Scotland, out with the camera, if you haven't seen it already. Cheers, ladies and gents, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Out.